ana ekwan ya allow no ama now for sa Emirates airline into no, she is going to teach this particular woman a lesson. Ni problem aro no da no so no ono and the Alhaji's wife. Now people are saying say per the Harrow investigation mo party say nipa o place call to, okay, nipa aro no da no so. Now the aro no da no so no edin the Fred no Edward Asumeni. Now Edward Asumeni onyo obi hunu keke, okay. You find the picture into screens no so onunye. This is Edward Asumeni. Edward Asumeni, according to what we are learning currently, no, national security coordinator. Edward Asumeni, national security coordinator. Onunye. So the whole thing, according to the Herald, no, omo indices in the manema mo patch say, as a Rashida corn omo place corn to this particular man. And apparently the two people who were also supposed to take the flight, you know, okay? One more or more far end, ho. Papaya arona koda no sisi no. Any dio odiswa or no so arona koda no. So those two people, no, they were the people apparently they were supposed to take the flights. They were supposed to take the flight before the unfortunate thing that happened. You fancy ho. Now, since I'm no question no. Eba a pen a man forecast eba ne say na this particular administration moye power hungry sir. What will really happen to the extent say obi eye nejuma, she's saying say she is not going to condone lateness. Is it a crime say Ubeka say I will not condone lateness? Is it a crime so Ubeka say okay why you late me my own full play now this were the things are not air coso, and because of that there were pressure from above. The pressure which was coming from above was so simple. DNI 4 and a national security 4 mumbra na mumbeyi muhwano. Me no can say the national security 4 based on the pressure ebano omo din sembebri aba betujo mo patche say they don't know anything about this particular issue. That is what the national security is saying. Say they don't know anything, okay, about the ekoso nipa e kidnapping no, and they've even further gone on to say they are denying, okay, they are denying any of their staff. They are denying say any of their staffs was apparently involved in the abduction and now said the reporter kidnap of Madam Sylvia Ban. Now, press release national security for the buyer no, the better screens no so. Now we want you to know say the Ghana Police Service they've also come out to say they are doing investigation. So at the end of the day, investigation no more no. If it is indeed true, say some national security operatives were indeed fingered in this, the law will work. The law will work. This is according to in Sema Ghana Police for Eka. But indeed, if as to say the law will work or not, no, in 24 seniachi any be Charlie. You have a press release and two screens of what the BNI is saying, what the NIB is saying. The entire almost almost staff Bianca. Even now, even though the Herald newspaper in some of the Babe Tuja Air Patch say two of the staff of the BNI services, no, according to investigation or more investigation, yes, those people are perhaps they are fingered in all of these things are air cost. Now, press release the two screens in just a second. Who share your life? But more than never a comments ever too, because this will be a very long life. You better tackle issues now left and right as to what is really going on and how this big implication, you know, abe a national scandal ubia eka ho asem enche bia the press release ever two screens so Madam Sylvia Ban currently, you know, ye tell me ya e ban sanet say or say didn't ko piem e wo police hospital near Sansomano obia oye therapist and a counselor, because for her to go through this traumatic stress, you know, among forecast it was and it is going to be a big blow to her. Yeah, the press release by two screens so before no year my dear person about two screens, but better so anyway. Just a second. Now, this is why press release are up and according to the BNI, they are denying any wrongdoing. And they are even denying any implication. Say omo so omo staff kan ho. They are saying say nobody or what the BNI no obi ni wo kan ho. It is a TVB. It's here for you guys to treat it with contempt because a FAKE news, fake news, fake news. You have into screens so. Now, this is a press release. Ebetoja yanya keseni read it. Or say Ministry of National Security press release. Okay. Response to alleged kidnapping of the Ministry of National response to alleged kidnapping by the Ministry of National Security. And almost start to say the Ministry of National Security has noted with concern a publication by the Herald newspaper alleging the abduction of one Sylvia Ban, manager of Emirates Airline at the Kotoka International Airport, by officers of the Ministry of National Security and the National Intelligence Bureau. So now they are saying this here no in some abetoja say yes. Omo members bi oma kwa kidnapping nkrofo bi ana women bi asa woman no edin a friend Madam Sylvia Ban no omo parties o mat sense and they want to address this particular issue. Also to us say the ministry wishes to categorically state that no officer from the ministry or the National Intelligence Bureau was involved in the alleged abduction of Sylvia Ban. So this particular time, no, they are saying say they are denying say any of their staff, be it Edward Asumeni, be it any person who is associated with the National Investigation Bureau or the Ministry of National Security, no, or more parties, and none of their staff is involved in all of this. Again, Osanso Trust said, meanwhile, the ministry has initiated investigation into the circumstances surrounding the alleged abduction. I want to ask a question, okay? BBAC, you find a penas. You see a staff via Kuviade. Yate. I did see and you see a staff via you release a press statement. Your staff via Kuviade. So what see a staff at Kuviade and throw name of your investigation. The big question is, why wouldn't you do investigation before coming out to clarify or making a statement? Because at the end of the day, after the investigation, you do realize, some way or somehow, no, maybe your staff will be implicated. Meanwhile, you've put out a press release saying that none of your staff is implicated, and you are saying that these statements are false. So saying a categorically false, no. Investigation. What are you trying to what are you trying to say? What do you mean? And at the end of the investigation, you will say, okay, indeed, some of your officers are part of. What would you do? Meanwhile, we are client said almost a year investigation. Also trust the ministry further wishes to assure the public that the culprits of the alleged abduction will be made to face the full circumstances of the full rigors of the law following the conclusion of the investigation. And then some more parties say, even though they believe say none of their members are part of this whole scheme, this whole your friend is a kidnapping near the adeno. If they do investigation, some members are count, someone count say you'll be from or be biara and satechi no, that person will face full vigorous of the law. Why do I feel like this is just talking? Omo kasakeke. A press release be brave. BBC yankofa kidnapping templates. BBC yankofa accident template. BBC yankofa fire service template ni wo ho. You see aware ni atia man rame wo assume. Orion Santos said the public is therefore able to treat the allegation by the Herald newspaper with contempt it deserves. And they are saying say the public no one more can say so Madam Sylvia Ban ne kidnapping the national security for the can national security for the techi and yes will be free from order from above ne manema omo parties they be that. It is not true. Now Minuka say sense we abetoja, and this is just the first version of it because Minuka say ye pa no Sam George Edin Simbi aba abetoja. Okay. Minuka says isia no Sam George in sema Sam George edi abetuja say national security in sema omo di abetuja sia omo party say hey anya no krania dia Sam George party say ntro I didn't tell Sam George ka say ntro ubeka say me statement and me reading. I told you and I made a comment saying and night before party say in sema abetuja no say you kidnapping Madam Sylvia Ban national security for can say a false. Meanwhile they are going to do investigation, and my question is, why don't you do the investigation first before coming out to the conclusion? Now they've said Herald newspaper or blow horn, they became the whistleblower of this whole thing. They are saying say the NIB is saying we should treat in some Herald newspaper with contempt. No problem. Meanwhile, Sam George is out here immediately after the press release by the National Security. That is MP for Ninko Pram Sam George. Modern Ghana for capture. Or say Emirates manager is kidnapping. Emirates manager is kidnapping. National Security Ministry is lying. Even the Vice President went to beg the family, Sam George. So clearly, you see, say there is some conflict here. Conflict of words. The ministry is saying something else. Meanwhile, backdoor, Meanwhile, backdoor. So what is really going on? The mafia, the Dachi mafias are at work. Dachi mafias are at work. And all because Jimmy Fobi and Akwasibi say, hey, Yamana full play nitiye obechi obi lesson. Obianka was all the beacon of a year ebia rule of law Jimmy, and it's alleged this particular woman Rashida Sani Nasemu Alaji's wife and onenam and Oma order because Kukuti on Alaji's wife. Now some way question ye menu kasi sisi ano nipa baako so ede nano abetu nsem we nyere mu. Menu kasi sisi ano obi ede nano abetu nsem we nyere mu a nipa na air party say there is more to this story than the eye meets. Nipa ode nano abetu sa story we mu enyo obi ase Kevin Taylor. Now Kevin Taylor am a blow by blow account of what really happened. The this whole thing and the national security forecast they are nowhere part and near of it no say a intro in some as a person can say me be mo at the score political points no Kevin Taylor air parties and investigations no otherwise say indeed there are some people who are apparently part of this whole scheme, part of the what